All right, so one of the things that I want to cover today is environment, right? And I don't mean global warming, I don't mean the plastic in the oceans, I don't mean any of that, okay? What I'm talking about is the environment that's going to make you successful in achieving or rebuilding your athletic body, okay? Because if you're watching this, you're likely an ex-athlete. You're probably over the age of 40 because that's primarily who I work with and who I'm targeting, okay? That's who I am, right? So if you want to rebuild that athletic body, one of the things that's missing for everybody, and 99% of the people that I talk to, who've tried everything, they've been on every diet, they've been on every training program, they've had personal trainers, they've done it all, they've done all kinds of different things, quick fix, machines, all of the things, right? The thing that they're missing is the environment. Okay, what do I mean? I want you to think back to your days as an athlete. I want you to think back to when you were in your physical prime. I want you to start picturing that. Start visualizing what your body looked like. And I'm guessing it was probably good. Right? It's one of the things that we're trying to chase down again as we get older, right? Because we're moving, for the majority of us, we're moving farther and further and further away from that, right? So revisit it, picture it, look at it. How did it make you feel? Right? Paint the picture in your head of what that was like to be in your prime. Right? And now once you have that picture, what were the habits that built that person? What were the habits that you had back in those days that built that person? Think about that. I'm guessing, I've got some ideas, right? It was probably that you were consistent with your training, probably showed up to practice every day. It's likely that you ate good. Not everybody had that experience, but it's likely that you ate good, right? You consumed good foods, or at least what you assumed to be good at the time, right? It's likely that you were in a different mental place. Maybe you even practiced some mental imagery, right? It's likely that you had the capacity to get up early in the morning and do some things that maybe you're not doing now. Right? So what were those habits? Right? Start thinking of those habits. Okay? And now that we have that picture, right, and we know that the habits that you had back in those days, those habits are what built that person that you visualized. Okay? I hope that makes sense. The habits that you had back then created that person that you visualized. Right? Whatever that vision was for you, maybe you were lean, you were strong, you were fast, you had, I don't know, whatever that picture was for you, whatever that athletic body looked like that you loved and that you want back, the habits that you had back then is what built that. Now, let's take it to today. Okay, so let's take it to today. I want to go through sort of the same process. So what is it today? How would you describe yourself? How do you envision yourself when you do this same sort of the same exercise, right? How do you describe yourself today? I'm guessing it's not like it was back then. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. Okay? So tell me, what does it look like today? Right? Write those words down. And then imagine this. If I was your client and I came to you because I wanted to do the things, get to the place that you are right now, if I wanted to be, and I'm just guessing here, overweight, feeling slow, feeling weak, less confident about myself, don't have much cardiovascular endurance, right? Whatever it is, right? If I wanted to be in that place, what are the habits that you would instill in me to get there? What kind of habits do you have today? What kind of habits would you teach me if I was your client who wanted the things that you just listed? Eat poorly, don't exercise, or exercise inconsistently, right? Don't get up early, go to bed late. Like, what are some of the habits that you have right now that created the person that you just drew out in your head? So now, what we need to do is we need to install the habits from your earlier days into your life today. So how do we do that? Right? That's the big question, is how do we, right? We know now, right? We can see the discrepancy, right? So how do we take the habits from your younger days, from your days of your prime, and plug them into your life today? Well, let's ask another question. What taught you those habits that made you successful back when you were an athlete? What was it that taught you? What was it that installed those beliefs in you? What was it that installed those habits? It was your participation in competitive athletics, right? It was that environment. It was the community, the team of like-minded people who all wanted the same thing, who all wanted to be better in whatever the sport was that you were in. It was the camaraderie of the team. It was supporting each other in the downtimes. It was celebrating each other's wins. It was the communication you had as being part of the team, right? It was the coaching. It was being able to show up and know exactly what you needed to do. It was the competition, the element of competition. That's what kept us moving forward every day, wanting to be a little bit better every single day. Kept us going to practice every single day, right? It built us the habits that we had that made us successful back then, right? And now, let's shift again to today. What does your environment look like today? And I'm going to tell you mine. I'm a husband. I'm a dad. I've got 2 dogs. I've got a good amount of friends that I enjoy spending time with. I have lots of obligations, right? I have work to do. I'm busy, right? That's my environment now, okay? But my question is there anything wrong with that? And the answer is clearly no, right? Because as we get older, we want to have other things in our life besides just athletics, right? So we develop these environments, we create these environments, and they're not inherently bad. What we need to do is we need to merge the two together, right? So we want to maintain, I love my wife, I love being a dad, I love having 2 dogs, I love having obligations and friends and all these things. I love that. I even love my job. I love helping you. I love doing this, okay? So we want to merge the two together. How do we bring the athlete environment and stick it together with the current environment that you're in now, right? And then overlap in there. When we bring them together, there's an overlap, right? That overlap is what I call the life-lete. It's my little play on words between the sport of life and being an athlete, okay? That's the life-lete. That's what we're chasing down. That's what we need to get to, right? And there's a few things. There's a few characteristics, there's a few things that need to happen when we merge the two together, because we know that we can't spend 3, 4, 5 hours a day training like we did back when we were an athlete, right? So we need 3 things to happen in order to merge these two together. Number 1 is your environment needs to be super efficient, right? We're still going to have community, camaraderie, competition, coaching, right? But it needs to be really efficient. Because we don't need to spend 4 hours a day training. We can't. We don't have time, right? It needs to be super effective. We're not going to waste our time with fluffy exercises. We're not going to waste our time with bad diets. We're not going to waste time. We don't do that. We're going to do only the things that matter the most. Super, super effective. And then lastly, we need to keep you healthy. So it has to be safe, right? Safety. We don't want to hurt you, right? We don't want to make you unhealthy. Right? So those 3 things are the things that we need. Efficiency, effectiveness, safety. Okay? That's how we can merge the 2 worlds together. That's how we can bring that one back into your life so that we can start building that person, right, that you were back in the day. Right? Hope that makes sense. Because if you can understand that and you can start to merge those 2 together, that's where the magic happens, baby. That's it. Right? We know that environment builds your best self physically. We know that environment, and you lose that as you get out of sport, right? And we're sort of kicked out. It's like we don't even have a choice. We get kicked out, thrown into the world of, what are we left with? Fitness. And the fitness world is awful. It doesn't help people like you at all. It doesn't create those environments for you at all, right? So what I'm doing is I'm creating the environment that you need. The community, group of like-minded folks, guys over the age of 40 who are ex-athletes who want to get their athletic body back, right? Camaraderie. We communicate, we're transparent, we talk, right? We support each other, we celebrate each other's wins, right? We're all in this together, we're a team, right? Camaraderie, that's where we're all communicating, right? Supporting each other. Coaching, that's what I do. That's, quite frankly, that's the easiest part of my job because I've done it for so long. I know everything you could ever imagine about biomechanics, all of the movements that are necessary for you, how to do workouts the most efficient way possible, how to make things super, super effective, how to keep you safe, how to get you in ridiculous shape in the shortest amount of time possible. I know everything that you need to do for nutrition, stuff that's not diet-based. It's real food-based. How to easily measure it. You're not counting calories or macros or any of that BS. It's very, very simple. It doesn't need to be complex. It can't be complex. You got a life. Safety. I'm going to teach you how to move. I'm going to teach you how to move, how to exercise, how to do the things that you need to do to build up your fitness, to build up your capacities to levels that you probably never even thought was possible, and do it safely. All right, so I hope all of that makes sense. I just took you down a whole road that should hopefully resonate with you if you're an ex-athlete. And if you're interested in learning more, please comment below. I would love, if this resonated, I would love to invite you into my program. Because again, I'm looking for the right guys. I'm looking for the people that this resonates with, that want to be a part of this movement. And I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. All right, mad success to you.